here we have rear 100. So that means all the powers to the rear, theoretically, maybe,
Theoretically.
possibly. Like I said, we're not that knowledgeable. We just happen to have a Cybertruck. So that is our understanding. Full 100, off-road mode, traction control is off, turn left, drive by wire, baby.
Stability assist.
Oh, reduce it. Minimum. Yes, definitely minimum. That's what we were missing. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. This is so crazy. Oh, God. I did not want to put this into a wall. Do not let me hit you, Clayton Stark, okay? Do not. No.
I will jump out of the way.
I have come so close to hitting you so many times. Today is not the day. This is not the car.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, famous last words. How'd that look?
So you're probably wondering what we're doing here. Did you come to the right channel? But I thought it'd be a lot of fun to show you that particular video clip. And there's one more I want to show you. Let's see if I can get it up here just in a second. It is right here. Watch this one as well.
Figure it out.
They gotta
We
figure
got
it out.
fun, Mandy. Oh, you ready? Okay. Go. Honestly, though, that's not bad. In the snow, that was not bad. Okay, well.
So as you can see, we had the CRX absolutely getting smoked in the snow by the Cybertruck. Those are a couple of really fun videos. I'll talk to you a little bit more about those in a second and give you a URL down in the description below where you can go watch the entire 18 minutes. Totally fun. Enjoyed the entire thing. It's quite nice. Now, while I've got you here in this particular realm, I wanted to also take you over to the Trueflation to talk about some of the details this week on Trueflation. So let's start with the fact that we're down to 2.12%. And you can see over here that that has dropped fairly precipitously from and almost down to where it was before the adjustment. So you can see where the adjustment was and it went way up. And then we've been playing around in the almost 3% range for a while. And then it just started coming down dramatically. I wanted to show you kind of the details on that. Let's look at food and beverages. You can see food and beverages has dropped like crazy to where now we're looking at food and beverage, the overall food and beverage number as being way under 2%. Food at home is way down. Everything is way down. And so we're looking at the total being substantially and a major contributor to what we're seeing now. If you go from there to housing now is, you can see here the change of up 0.83%. That is on the week ago, last month, 0.42%. So housing has actually popped up a little bit, surprisingly. I would expect to see that going down over the next couple of months. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to have, maybe because the inventory is so low, we won't see it going down that much, but that is something to look at as housing. Then we go next to transport. Transport had been trending up and now is trending down again. I think that's probably a lot to do with new and used car sales prices coming down a bit. We go from there to utilities, which had been trending up and now is trending down. Natural gas, in fact, which was way up, natural gas is now leveling off and trending down again. You can see this big spike that was back here on natural gas. So we're seeing in general in oil and gas, we might talk about that tomorrow more. Oil and gas has lots of reserves. And so, so far the winter now, we're seeing some real weather coming into the United States right now, but apparently oil and gas reserves are quite good. All right, then we go into health. You can see health has been popping up, but guess what? That's popping up to 0, okay? What we're talking about is 0, negative 0.28 on health. That's pretty shocking. Cathie Wood would tell you that that number is going to be going down in the next couple of years as some of the companies that she supports are going to be contributing to negative cost reductions in health. Household and daily items. So this would be some of the other items that you would buy in a grocery store. You can see there's a lot of movement here, but down from the 7% highs down now to still around 4%, but the direction is clear. And I think Costco and Walmart CEOs will be right when they say that that is going to continue down to negative territory shortly. We have alcohol and tobacco also staying in that 4% range. Not sure on that one. That's a U.S., these are going to be mostly U.S. made products. Not sure what the impact is going to be there. Clothing has dropped off a rock. So going from around 3.5% all the way down to almost zero. Communications also negative, actually negative 2.2. We've got education trending down dramatically, down to about 3.3 at this point. And then we've got recreation and culture. Also, you can look at how this number has come down. Recreation and culture is now in that range of the 2% range. Finally, we have other. This is heavily in personal care items and whatnot. That is staying one of the most highly elevated of all. Interesting to see if it's a very small percentage of the overall. It's only 3% of the information that they use to come up with these numbers. But this will be an interesting one to watch to see if it comes under control. All right, let's stop sharing. Okay, let me go back to my notes. What we had. Oh, great. This is not working well. I'm really in trouble here. Help me, help me. Okay, we're all good now. So that video that we watched at the beginning, that was from the Stradman. I'll leave the information down below on that particular show. He's a very large YouTuber, millions and millions of subscribers. So a whole bunch of folks saw that one today. Okay, let's, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. That's a good segue, right? This is Randy Kirk. Please like, hit the like button, subscribe, hit notify. You're going to want to be notified. Tomorrow night, of course, is the almost always one of the most watched shows of the week, which is the Monday morning show, which we do on Sunday night, which talks about all of the financial and Tesla related things that are going to be happening in the week ahead and what we think the impact will be on that. You want to also, of course, the Larry and I did a show earlier today, which if you haven't seen it yet, why not? This is our report on Cathie Wood. I will leave a card on that one down below. Oh my gosh, we went an hour and almost 10 minutes. Why did we go so long? Because there was so much really critical information about where this economy is headed. Guess what? My opinion is slightly changing. I'm thinking we might be going into that recession in the third quarter. My first clue was when everybody said the recession was off. That is almost always a very good clue that they're all wrong and that contrarian thinking needs to come into play. So about 2 weeks ago, my mind started going, I don't know. And I started making some mentions online here on the show. I'm not 100% sure that we're going to escape a recession next year. Now, if the Fed would decide in January to cut by 25, okay, maybe so. And then cut again in March by another 25, maybe we'd avoid it. But there's some very telling things right now that Larry and I talked about in detail. You don't want to miss that particular show. All right. And of course, you need to buy. You want me to not have a recession this year. You want me to have increased sales all year long. And so right now would be a great time for you to get your Cybertruck, 25 for one, 45 for two, 65 for three, etc. All of the information is down in the in the description. All right. We are, so Elon Musk says he'll have more new products, not yet announced products, coming in 2024. So here's what I think. I'm just going to speculate. I'm going to talk about the things I want and the things I think could happen. All right, number one, I want it to be HVAC. And maybe this new deal that Tesla just inked with Samsung regarding smart home monitoring could portend that HVAC is finally coming. Wouldn't that be cool? I've been holding off on buying a new HVAC for my personal residence because I want that. I don't want to buy a new system. I want to buy that system. All right, number two might be a major new solar product for large utility scale systems. You might want to check out an upcoming video, probably be out Wednesday or Thursday, that Brian Wong and I just did on his Next Big Future channel. We're starting a whole new thing on the Next Big Future channel where we're covering the major news in science every week. We had one last Thursday. You go on nextbigfuture.com or go on Next Big Future, the video channel, and you can see it was about an hour-long presentation of the top 10 science things that we believe are, or that he believes. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just his sidekick on that show. Anyway, Brian says that we're going to need massive increase in solar install over the next 10 years in order to hit the electrical needs that Elon's been talking about. So maybe he's decided that it will be necessary for Tesla to be manufacturing some of those solar panels in the US. And maybe they've got a new idea on a way to do solar panels that would be perfect for utility level installations. I know completely. I have that's just like this. Okay. That's where I got that. All right. Next one would be Dojo as a service would be an obvious one. Wouldn't that be cool if he's got a really good idea about how to use Dojo to generate that 400 billion a year he said that Dojo could do. And then some kind of a grok infusion into the entertainment system of the Tesla cars. I think this is obviously going to come at some point. Maybe that is an item that could be coming soon, maybe even this year. And then what do you think? Add to the comments below. What product could Elon be talking about? Or products, because he said products. What could he be talking about in addition to maybe one of my items? Or do you think any of my items make sense? Let me know in the comments below. All right, Sawyer Merritt is reporting this morning. The U.S. Energy Department has released a new statement. In 2023, more than 1.4 million EVs were sold in the United States, a 50% increase in 1 year. The Biden administration's industrial policy for clean energy is helping to deliver this transition. Yeah, probably so. Tesla made an estimated 47% of that 1.4 million total in the United States of U.S. sales last year. All right, then we've got from CNN. CNN says, here's something to make Elon Musk smile. Short sellers, those investors who placed bets that the value of Tesla shares were going to go down, lost a combined $12.2 billion last year. More than short sellers lost on any other company in 2023, and not by a little, by a lot. That estimate from markets analytics firm S3 Partners isn't a shock. Tesla shares slightly more than doubled during the course of the year. But for the shorts to take that kind of a hit, there needs to be not only gains for the shares, but also a large group betting the other way. Well, with U.S. stock indexes ending the year near record highs, the S&P rose 22% for the year. Shorts had a bad year anyway. S3 estimates overall short losses reached $194.8 billion, of which 12 of that was Tesla. So almost 10% of the total. But the losses by those shorting Tesla were particularly bad, more than the losses they suffered at Microsoft and Facebook owner Meta combined. And Tesla, which is worth more than any other automaker in the world, despite having sales that are only a fraction, blah, 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 has long been a top target for shorts who believe the shares are overvalued. Last year, investors had an average short position of 18.9 billion on Tesla shares, surpassed only by Apple, which has an average of 19 billion in short interest. Every year, the bears come out of hibernation mode and think this is the year that Tesla shares collapse, said Dan Ives, analyst with Wedbush Securities. The bears view it is an automobile company that should trade at a valuation of a multiple like GM or Toyota. The bulls, such as myself, believe it's a disruptive technology company, and that's the Wall Street consensus view. A bit of research showed me that after Tesla, the next 5 for huge losses by shorting are NVIDIA, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon. So the big 7 represent the 6 top shorted shares. So interesting on that. Well, there's a lot of fuss right now about Tesla reducing the advertised mileage for most of the product line. Headlines include Tesla admits to overstating mileage. Reality is far different. These are EPA changes to the method used to determine the average expected mileage. If you drive your Tesla 60 miles an hour on flat ground in 60-degree temperatures, and you don't do any stopping and starting, you're just on a freeway going slow in the slow lane, you're going to get what was originally the advertised mileage, or maybe even a little better. But if you're driving up and down hills, or you're driving in 20-degree weather, or you're driving 90 miles an hour, or you're in stop and go traffic, all those things, of course, are going to reduce your mileage, just as those things reduce the mileage on ICE cars. No difference. So everybody knows this. So the drop in mileage is because the EPA decided we need to use a balanced method of coming up with the expected amount of mileage that you're going to get from the car, given all kinds of conditions. Makes perfect sense. This from Market Watch, and this is important. Listen to this carefully. Ellen Zentner, the chief U.S. economist at Morgan Stanley, said she's sticking with her call for a soft landing, one that she originally made in March 2022. Not sure what she means by soft landing. I am assuming she means we don't go negative, or at least not negative for 2 quarters. She says, although there is a real slowing in the economy, businesses are still not laying off workers because of how hard it was to find them during the pandemic wind down. Until businesses change the narrative of labor hoarding, it is very difficult to forecast deeper trouble for the labor market and the overall economy, Zentner added. Labor hoarding is keeping these companies with way too many employees, which is going to hurt their earnings, but they're afraid to let them go. And that's reducing the overall availability of workers in the workforce. In addition, you have lots of people leaving the workforce. I'm trying to find the stats on how many boomers are leaving the workforce compared to how many Z-Gens are coming into the workforce. I'm trying to find that stat, and it's not an easy stat to find, but I'm sure there's a complete imbalance there between those two, with more going out than coming in, because there's more boomers than there are Zs. So, yeah, so the workforce is reducing. So if the workforce is reducing, that is, of course, making it difficult to find employees. Now, there's going to come a time, and that was part of our discussion this morning on the Cathie Wood report, is there's going to come a point at which these companies are probably going to start laying off some of these people that they don't need, because they're going to be under margin pressure. We talked about the fact that Pepsi was just kicked out, just taken off the shelves at a major national chain because they wanted to raise their prices so much. Well, Pepsi's going to have to say, okay, what are we going to do here? They're not going to want to lose that business. So they're going to start looking for ways to be able to sell at a lower price. But how are they going to do that without margin contraction? They're going to have to lower costs. Where are they going to lower costs? Probably by reducing the labor force. So look for that. It'll be, I don't think it'll be a major change, but it might be one of the things that could lead to that recession in the 3rd quarter. She says, I'm sorry, that was the end of what she had to say. So speaking of that discussion that we had this morning, Larry and I'm going to put the card, you want to see that one. So I'm putting the card up right now. And we were just shocked and amazed. There was 2 or 3 other things that we saw in terms of the numbers that Cathie, in her wisdom, brought to the fore that you want to know about if you really want to understand where the business climate is going forward, because that business climate affects Tesla on so many different levels. Okay, so please hit like, subscribe, and notify. Please buy some Cybertruck bottle openers, make me happy, and then join Patreon. Remember, we have that new $3 level. Quite a few people joining up on the $3 level this week. And then we still have, of course, the 5 and the 10, where we have some nice gifts included, which includes, of course, at the $10 level, you get one of these guys if that's your choice, or you get 2 audiobooks if you prefer that. All right. I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for a show tomorrow morning, but it will be fantastic. I'm sure of that. It's been great talking to you.